America gets it. The economy's not good. The border's not good. Everything that's going on in this country, not good. And that's why Joe Biden's approval ratings are so low. And that's why Emerson College joins with the Wall Street Journal in telling us the same exact story. The Wall Street Journal, in their poll, showed us that in all of these swing states, 6 out of 7, Trump was leading by a pretty large margin. I mean, it was like a funeral service over on MSNBC as they got this information and they tried to gaslight you into thinking that somehow maybe it's not true. Look at this. When they take a look at the issues, listen to the woman reporter here. Let's Joe and Mika.
Trump neck and neck in every swing state. According to the new numbers from the Wall Street Journal, Trump leads Biden in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, North Carolina, Nevada, and Pennsylvania by figures that are all within the poll's margin of error. In Wisconsin, the survey shows the two candidates tied at 46% each. The poll also finds negative perceptions about the economy remain a problem for Biden. 63% of swing state voters say the U.S. economy overall is not so good or poor condition, while 36% say it's in excellent or good condition. But when asked to rate the economic conditions in their own states, the majority of voters in 5 of those 7 swing states say it's in excellent or good shape. Joining us now, CEO.
Okay, very interesting. Were they I mean, this is very interesting how she's trying to say, in other words, when it's on an individual level, you guys don't know what you're talking about because you're doing great, right? So why do you complain about it nationally? I mean, it's just like the Wall Street Journal headline that we got in this morning's paper. Can we see that one? Because they said, what's wrong with the economy? It's you, not the data. Many Americans believe that the economy and their finances are worse than they really are. Are you kidding me? Greg Ip, shame on you, buddy. You know what? He used to be a decent Fed reporter. I like Greg, but he is so wrong on this. He is so wrong because when you look at numbers, the actual data, the actual numbers, and you look at inflation and you compare it with wages, guess what you find? Inflation's up better than 18% since Joe Biden came to office. Wages, they have grown only 15% and change, adjusted for inflation. So you get that spread difference right there. That's why people feel bad. And then when you think about the cost of everything, okay, sure, maybe you can buy some cheap clothes from China, but your mortgage payment's way up. It's 66% higher on average. Rents are better than 20% higher on average. And take a look at this headline, ladies and gentlemen, you're paying more at the gas pumps. You know it. I know it. AAA knows it. The Wall Street Journal doesn't care. They want you to think somehow it's all in your head. The economy's fine. Don't worry about it. Nationwide average price for regular gas topped $3.54 a gallon, a spike of more than 45%. Under President Biden, gee, thanks, Biden. There is a song from the 1970-something musical Annie. Great musical. Little girls everywhere love this one. And there's a song called We'd Like to Thank You, Herbert Hoover. Well, we'd like to thank you, Joe Biden, for that massive uptake in gas prices, $3.54 a gallon. I'm sorry, but this is exactly 1,000% why Americans are frustrated with the economy and fearful about inflation. And over and over and over again, another YouGov poll just out, a survey saying Americans care passionately about inflation and the economy. They're worried about this stuff, and rightly so. So no matter what they're trying to tell us on MSNBC, no matter what they're trying to tell you in the Wall Street Journal even, you know the truth. I know the truth. AAA knows the truth. There you go. Look, the reality is you got to think about inflation. You got to protect your investments. It's part of the reason why I started 76 Research, ladies and gentlemen, right? I mean, there's a whole, Rob and I started this and I'm like, okay, priority number 1, actually there were 2 priorities. I basically wanted to make sure that anybody who's saving for the future would have an income in the future, right? So we have like an income builder portfolio, and then we have a dividend portfolio. We have an inflation protected portfolio. Part of the dividend stocks actually go into the income builder portfolio so that you have an income that's also going to suffice in inflationary times. And so, I know a lot of people say, oh, okay, like, let me put my money in a bond or something. But over time, what do we find over and over again? The S&P 500 outpaces the gains that you would get in a traditional bond vehicle. So you'd have to have really, really high interest rates, like, 17%, going back to quite literally the Carter days, in order for some of that to make sense. And so in there, you're going to find at 76research.com, an income builder portfolio. You'll also see an inflation protection portfolio where the goal is to just keep protecting you from. Then there's growth stuff in there too, but check it out. And he's going to be on in a little bit. So we'll get to that in a second.